Welcome to Cevo Secret Sauce, where we interview the celebrities of Cevo and figure out what makes them tick. With me today is a man so massive in his impact that we literally call him huge. Eugene, welcome.
Thank you. How's it going?
Fantastic. If you'd like to start, this is the classic chili maple. Sweet, spicy,
classic.
Quite nice. I know that you are a rev head. I'm really into cars and bikes. What correlations can you draw between performance vehicles and consulting, and any correlations that you can draw between the two?
When you're at the track, you're always constantly trying to improve, and that's the drive of it. That's what motivates you. And every time, every corner, trying to get it a little bit faster, a little bit better, trying to improve your technique, trying to nail the corner. I think with consulting, especially the tech part of it, but even the soft skills, you're always trying to get better. So one gig from the next gig, you're trying to make improvements.
Continuous evolution.
Continuous improvement, continuous evolution, yeah. So, and that's what keeps you motivated, I think. All right. Banji Ranch. 6,200 on the Scott Scoville heat unit. You see that one? That's not even as chilly as the last one. It's a different type of spice.
In the cloud native practice, what would the perfect consultant look like if you could create one? If you were to answer as ChatGPT, build me the perfect consultant from a soft skill perspective?
Always trying to improve on your skill set. Like everyone, there's always new services coming out which makes up the cloud native landscape. So no one's going to be an expert at everyone. As soon as they come out, you've got to touch it. So being able to be curious and form your opinions based on experience. So I think reading the internet's great, and ChatGPT is great, you'll learn a lot, but you're never going to learn as much as if you feel the pain first. So being curious about how things work, and then that sort of helps you sets expectations for other services. So you gain this sort of expectation or expected behavior. So you don't run into, you sort of have an idea about how something should work. So even if you're not an expert from day one, you pick it up quicker. I think being agnostic is important, because if you sort of paint yourself or corner yourself, you're never going to get the benefits or the advantages of each.
I only work with MySQL or...
Exactly. So because they all have pros and cons. So even from cloud provider to cloud provider, at least knowing how the other side might do it will help you even just make improvements to what you're doing with your current tech stack. I think that agnostic thing seems to be a common theme with everyone, in even just like consultants in general, not necessarily cloud native, because they see it's that curiosity bit, like, oh, I haven't touched that before, I want to know how that works. And then maybe you don't have to build your career on it, but at least you've touched it, I know what it's about.
Like aggressive agnosticism, to actively go and see what everything is.
Yeah. I mean, of course you can't touch everything, but at least to have that curiosity where, it doesn't even take long, a couple of hours sometimes, just to feel the pain or understand what a new technology or a new pattern or anything is like. So, I think that probably drives all of us as consultants.
You're right with that. That was just pepper.
Right. Yeah, that's all right.
So
no reaching for milk yet.
So 15,000 scorpions. I think this will be close to Tabasco.
Okay.
Maybe a bit hotter, but you'll be fine. So you have, I think it's 1 million kids.
I think we have the same amount of kids. We're both at 4.
Oh, I thought you had more than that, but yes, 4 kids. What skills do you think transfer from parenting to people leadership, and also the other way?
I think you have to have patience in both. I think for me, as my career progressed, understanding that not everyone's at the same level. So having the expectations for people that you're mentoring, and then it works both ways. When someone's trying to mentor you or grow you, if they had elevated expectations, it wouldn't work either. So actually, I have 2 stepsons. So one of the biggest learnings is not expecting them to grow up and be just like me. So they're going to forge their own path. And I think when it comes to leadership, it's the same way. Not expecting everyone to follow your same journey, same timeline. So I think there's some parallels there. I guess it's the same with leadership in terms of a company or a professional. You know, you've got to maintain that relationship on the ups and downs. So when you've got to have hard conversations versus the easier times when you've got good conversations where it's nothing but praise. And so you've got different approaches to different kids. So I think that's definitely a parallel to, I guess,
Because you've got boys and girls.
I've got boys and girls, and they're all completely different from each other.
Yeah.
So, and I can't imagine anyone has two sort of people that they mentor or they lead or manage that are exactly the same either.
Los Calientes.
Los Calientes. 36,000 Scoville heat units, which is supposed to be double the last one, but at the moment, it's not double.
As we're growing and obviously hiring more and more people, I had a theoretical situation where we bring in a junior consultant who's, you know, has some tech skills, has never consulted before, and it's effectively what 3 skills do we want them to master for soft skills specifically?
Not in any order, but I think as a consultant, you've got to constantly improve on your ability to present in some form, whether it's written or, you know, in front of a showcase or something like that. We've always got to present our proposals, our solution, our work, and it doesn't come naturally for a lot of people. It definitely didn't come naturally for me, but it definitely gets easier. So that's an important soft skill, and I think you'll find you'll hit a ceiling of growth if you don't improve on that. You know, there's a lot of tricks, like, you know, if the more prepared you are, the easier it is. I mean, I think you came on me with a recent client visit, and I still show nerves, and I still tend to sometimes read off some pre-canned notes, but it's just me trying to constantly improve, and I think the only way you do is to keep doing it.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure we, you know, won that meeting from the client perspective or from the sales perspective.
Well, I hope so. Yeah. Learning how to say no. So I think it's easy to start off as being a yes man and trying to go the extra mile, but I think you'll quickly find out where you might burn yourself out by saying yes to unrealistic expectations, unrealistic deadlines, unrealistic challenges, and even not being able to sort of articulate or challenge customers or even teammates on solutions or approaches or anything. So I think it's important to sort of stand up and be able to say no with respect and professionalism. Trying to step away from the technical problem and keep the business and primary goals of a project at the forefront and at the focus. It's especially when you're getting to low-level solutions and problems and challenges, it's quick and easy to lose sight of where you're actually supposed to be headed. So if you keep those business outcomes and the primary goal of the project at the forefront, it probably will have a big input into like your approach and perhaps like your priorities. So you might say, okay, maybe I don't need to do this right now. Maybe I can we can agree on some tech debt or something, and that way, I think the business itself or whoever we're trying to deliver a project to will appreciate it.
So how did you go with that?
That was not too bad. That was enjoyable.
The next one is the Indian chili.
This is the Indian one.
The Delhi ghost pepper.
I am sweating.
So juggling clients and projects and personal life and everything in general is a challenge for all consultants. Can you remember a time where that's really been a struggle for you, and how do you equip the more junior consultants around you or your pod members to work through that themselves? It's
definitely a big challenge, especially if, as you said, I've got 4 kids, doing a pretty involved project and trying to get as involved as I can with the internal initiatives. It helps to have a plan in place, block it out in your calendar and try to stick to it. I'm not going to lie, extra hours is sometimes involved, but you've got to balance it out with understanding where you're getting a little bit burnt out and try to plan a little bit better. I think it goes back to what I said about being a yes man too. So you don't have to say yes to every interview. You don't have to say yes to every sort of internal initiative. You can say, hey, maybe not this week. I'm happy to do the next one.
Like you want them to do with this.
I think understanding too that your team members have got your back and are willing to help you out. So keeping the comms up helps too. So whenever I've fallen short of comms is where it goes pear-shaped. If you just keep communications up, being honest about your own availability as well. So it goes back to the yes man thing. I think that's the best way. I mean, everyone's got a finite amount of hours, so trying to prioritize too will probably help. Or does help. Probably.
That seems like it's getting hotter for you.
That is.
Mushroom Mayhem. This is a doubling on the last one, from 39,000 to 68,000.
I can feel the... It's nice.
We've spoken about the junior consultant that has come in and has the 3 basic skills that they worked on. If they want to progress further into a lead consultant or a pod lead or a senior consultant at Cevo, where would you recommend them to be able to grow? What skills would you look at them to pick up on next in their journey?
I think it's important to know where you need to grow. So you look, not everyone, some people would be stronger in other areas, compared to the next consultant. So identifying where you need to grow and then going out and getting it. So not expecting it to be handed to you. So if you wanted to be more involved in pre-sales, then go talk to your client directors. If you want to do more within the cloud native space, then go pick up a ticket from the backlog. Just get more involved. I think if you wait for it to be handed to you, or if you wait to be for someone to hold your hand and do it for you, it's not going to work. And this is a perfect culture for it, I think. Everyone is very receptive to anyone that puts their hand up to doing anything. You don't have to be an expert. Like I said, no one's expecting you to be an expert, but having that initiative to take the first step or the first small step, it's going to lead to the next one, and then you're going to grow. People are going to gain more confidence in you. You're going to get more confidence in yourself, and then you'll take on more media challenges. So I think you don't have to rush yourself too. There's a certain pace where you're able to absorb and take on more challenges, and it might ebb and flow as well. Like I said, I think the biggest one too, and I think what I always talk about this even when I'm interviewing, is the culture for it is amazing at Cevo.
Would you like to continue?
I would. I'm here.
Fantastic.
I did not think I'd get here, but
well, hey,
I'm going to have dreams of Calypso.
The top 3 skills that all consultants should have is pretty a common understanding. I think everyone would pick effectively the same 3. What are 4, 5, and 6 of the really important soft skills that all our consultants should have, in your opinion?
I think professionalism, because we're all consultants, we deal with a mix of people, a mix of customers. No matter the situation, you've got to keep professional. No matter if you're dying of hot sauce, you've got to stay calm. I think the drive to continually improve, the desire to help others, I think, within our team, within the customers as well. Whew.
You are living up to your name of being truly huge.
I'm going to hugely regret this, but anyway, here we go.
I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure I'd actually have 8 questions for you because I wasn't sure you'd get all the way there. You've done it. You've hit the max point. You've hit the hottest sauce that we're offering here. You've done a fantastic job. 638,000 Scovilles. If there's one piece of advice that you could give to anyone new coming into the company just to get started and that wants to improve themselves, what is the most surefire way of achieving that?
I think self-reflection, understanding where you need to improve. Taking advice from others is good. Take it on board, but I think if you have that awareness and you act on it, it'll work out well. My mouth is on fire.
Not talking doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah.
Eugene, thank you so much. You have done it. You have succeeded.
Thank you, brother.
Fantastic job.